NAB Show 2024. My name is Noel. I am here at the Canon booth unveiling their brand new lens, the CJ27EX 7.3B. Mouthful. I'm here with Paul because he can explain it better. Paul, thank you for having me. Please,
thanks for being here.
This lens, why did you guys create this? What kind of limitation existed in the broadcast industry and the live stream industry that this lens is solving?
Well, we solved a couple of obstacles, or at least made it easier to overcome them with the new drive unit.
Okay.
But I'm going to speak to the lens itself first. They do come together, but in a way they're kind of separate pieces.
Okay.
So the lens is a 27 times lens, so that's a power zoom ratio that's traditionally only been available in large box lenses. We have the 27 by 6.5, which is the big studio box lens right behind me.
Yeah, I can see that, yeah.
So this doesn't really replace that, obviously not as wide, but to get that kind of zoom ratio in a small package like this.
I mean, literally, just like the length of my hand, you can fit that in a backpack.
You can handhold this too.
Yeah.
You can shoot as a handheld operator, something you cannot do with a big box lens.
That's
so
for sure.
Compared to the 25 by, which is a very similar range to this lens, and it is also what we call a UHD XS lens. That's our highest level of handheld optics. And that lens is just over on that end. It's only 25 and it starts at 7.6. So this starting at 7.3, a little bit wider, gets a little bit longer. So that's really where this kind of falls in and makes the lens itself unique. Now the drive unit is where we solved a couple of issues. Not really big problems, but little quality of life things for a lot of people. One of which is we took the menu that does all the hardcore features for the drive unit. That menu screen has been moved to the top. The menu's been restructured so it's easier to navigate.
Okay.
We also moved one of these ports. This is where your 20-pin Hiroshi connectors go for the demands. Traditionally, there was all three sticking down. Now we have one moved towards the back. So when you're building something like a teleprompter or a Steadicam unit, that makes it much easier to access these. So for the operators putting that together, kind of solved a little bit of a problem there. Lastly, as far as physical upgrades, we added a USB-C port. So you can pull some data out of that and then add it to another lens so that you can customize them without having to do them all manually. That's the big one, is firmware updates, because you used to have to send it into service to do the firmware update. Now there's only one other real feature that I want to talk about this, and that's called focus breathing compensation. It's pretty self-explanatory. It compensates for focus breathing. It's a little feature that you turn on in the menu so that when you are doing a rack focus and you get that kind of micro zoom that distorts the image, if you turn that on, that will no longer happen in most points in the focal range.
That's amazing. Now lastly, what are the range of bodies can this lens fit on?
This lens will go on any broadcast camera that has a 2/3 inch sensor.
Perfect. Hey Paul, thank you very much for having me. I'm looking forward to see it
Thanks
out in the wild. This is an amazing achievement. Congratulations.
All right, great. Thanks a lot.